How can I simplify integration testing data? Imagine trying to find a needle in a haystack. Now picture doing that with hundreds of pieces of data. It can get overwhelming fast. That's why simplifying integration testing data is so important. When you make data easier to handle, you can spot bugs quicker and improve your code quality. Start by focusing on the most important parts of your system. Identify the key points where different pieces connect. These are your critical integration points. Use test data that directly affects these areas. This way, you're not wasting time testing irrelevant data that won't impact the integration. Next, use equivalence partitioning. This means grouping input data into categories that should behave the same. Instead of testing every single input, pick one or two representative values from each group. For example, if a form accepts ages from 0 to 100, test the lower boundary, the upper boundary, and a middle value. This reduces the number of tests but still covers all the important cases. Boundary value analysis is another helpful technique. Errors often happen at the edges of input ranges. Test the minimum and maximum values as well as just outside those boundaries. For example, if a system accepts numbers from 1 to 10, test 0, 1, 10, and 11. This helps catch issues at the limits without testing every possible number. When multiple inputs interact, use all pairs testing. Instead of testing every combination, test all possible pairs of inputs. This method finds many interaction bugs with fewer tests. For example, if you have 3 inputs each with 3 options, testing all 9 combinations might be too much. Instead, test all pairs, which reduces the total number of tests needed. Create reusable test data sets. Develop standard data that can be used across different tests. This saves time and keeps your tests consistent. For example, have a set of mock user profiles that you can use whenever you need user data. Reusable data makes your testing process smoother. Automate data generation and management. Use tools to create, reset, and manage test data automatically. Automation reduces manual work and mistakes. For example, scripts can generate random data within specific ranges or reset your database to a known state before each test. This keeps your tests reliable and repeatable. Isolate data for each test. Make sure each test runs with its own set of data. This prevents one test from affecting another. For example, use separate databases or data containers for each test run. Isolation makes debugging easier because you know exactly what data was used. Use mock data and services when needed. If some parts of your system are not ready or depend on external services, use mocks or stubs. These simulate real data and behaviors. For example, if your application connects to a payment gateway, use a mock service that mimics responses. This simplifies testing and speeds up the process. Finally, review and update your test data regularly. As your application changes, so should your data. Remove outdated or redundant data to keep your test suite lean. Add new data for new features or integration points. Keeping your data current makes your tests more effective. By applying these methods, you make integration testing data easier to manage. Simplified data helps you focus on finding real issues without drowning in unnecessary details. Automating and standardizing data also makes your testing faster and more consistent. When your data is clear and well organized, debugging becomes simpler, and your code quality improves. Incorporate these techniques into your testing routines and watch your debugging skills grow.